Hello, visionary. Raquel Reina here. And in this video, in this training, I'm going to be talking about human design, your inner authority, and the power of making decisions as yourself. So powerful, so important, so key, so vital. And really important right now as we are entering into this stage of massive confusion and chaos in the planet. And so I'm just going to share the depth of this in this video. And it is live. So for those of you listening to the replay, this is a live video. I do have a couple of charts that people have sent me that I was going to look at today. I also have said that I'm going to answer some questions. So if you're here live, if you can just give me a shout out and make sure that you can hear me and see me, that would be fantastic. And then I'm going to dive into the intel for today. So I just kind of want to get a confirmation that we are good, which I'm assuming we are. So awesome. Hey, everybody. Hi, guys. So if you're watching live, if you could just put in a comment and just say live, I'm here, that would be great. What we're going to be talking about today is some really deep, powerful stuff. And I think it's really important because we're in a really intense time in history right now where there's a lot of intensity building up, right? Can you guys feel that? Hey, Cordelia. Hey, gorgeous. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for showing up live. So in this video, like I said, I'm going to be talking inner authority and the power of inner authority. Hey, Judy. I am seeing this so intensely right now in the world because we are moving and shifting. And the interesting thing about this is that it is revealed when you look at human design, which is why the intel is so fascinating. When you look at human design, it goes through this shift that's happening in the next 7 years. When you look at the 2027 rave chart, and I'm not asking you to believe anything. I'm just asking you to experiment with this intel a little bit because I am a follower of many wisdoms. I've been studying all different types of teachings, spiritual psychology and shamanism, and a lot of different esoteric teachings. So, and human design is just one that really unbelievably powerfully merges the esoteric with the exoteric, the inner and the outer, and merges those two things together and kind of creates this incredible, unique way how to operate the inner and the outer. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Hey, Shivani. Hello, my love. I love you. Mwah. And so, why is this so important? Because I see so many people giving away their power to somebody who they think knows more. And it's really intense in the next 7 years. As you guys are already seeing, things are shifting, right? They're breaking apart. They're falling apart in a way. There's a lot of fear, a lot of intensity happening on the planet. Like, if you walk around already, we're seeing people like with the masks and the gloves, and I think it's going to intensify, right? So we need to really understand that when we're talking about our health, we have to put the power inside our own bodies, right? When we're talking about our businesses, when we're talking about our lives, when we're talking about our relationships, when we're talking about anything, we cannot be conditioned by the outside world anymore. Because what's going to happen is the minute you put your power out there, you're going to falter, you're going to go into massive fear, and you're going to go into massive confusion. And the minute you reclaim your power and you pull your power back in and you allow that insight to guide, lead, and direct your life, there's a intensity that begins to awaken within you. It's called empowerment. It's called self-empowerment. And you know and you trust that you have the answer. You know the truth. You are awakening inside of yourself. And that is what this intel is here to do, is to teach you that your inner authority is like a compass to what is correct for you. So what I want to talk about today is a little bit about HD truth. I'm going to share with you a little bit about some opportunities to work with us. If you guys are feeling the like calling to go a little bit deeper, I'm super excited about some stuff that's going on. I've already been like getting people set up on a couple of our courses that we have, and they are going to be so hot. I mean, like I'm on fire, sizzling excited. So I'm going to share with you guys a little bit about that. Also, if you stay till the end, I'm also going to be answering questions on specific charts. So first off, I just want to see who is here and where you're from. If you could type in the chat where you're from, that would be fantastic. I know we are live on YouTube and on Facebook, I believe. And so if you could type in where you're from, where you're tuning in from, that would be awesome, so that we can kind of feel where everybody's from. So, and also what I'd love to know is what inner authorities we have on the call. So, hey, Vicky from Texas. Awesome. Thank you for letting me know Texas is in the house. So what inner authority are you guys working with? Germany. Hey, Daniel. Awesome. Isn't this amazing coming together from all over the world? So interesting. I think I'm live on YouTube also. I could be wrong. So, your inner authority. So I'm a splenic projector. So I want to know if we have we may have emotional generators, manifesting generators, emotional projectors. We may have sacral. There's a mental. So what is your inner authority? Type it in the chat. And if you're in the replay, type it in the chat as well. If you guys are curious about my design and understanding it, here you go. There's a little insight for you. Emotional solar plexus. Awesome. Hey, Linda from Sydney, Australia, MG. She is on YouTube. Awesome. Cool. Thank you. Emotional inner authority for me, Atlanta. Emotional. Okay. Awesome. Emotional. Wow. We've got a lot of emotional beings on the call today. So, one thing you guys will start to notice is that, hey, Angela. Hi. Awesome. You made emotional MG. Oh my God. Is everybody on here emotional? Oh my God. No wonder I'm starting to feel like a wave coming over me out of control. Love it. So this is so good, because what you guys need to understand is there's so much intel out there about how to make a decision, right? There's so much intel about what to do during these times of change and power and information. Cordelia, emotional from New York City, living in Atlanta. That's interesting. I didn't know you were from New York City. That's cool. Okay. So this is going to be a super deep process. So stay with me, okay? So here's the deal. What I notice is that no one is really empowering anyone to live as themselves. We are all empowering people to do as we want them to do, or what they should be doing, or what they think is going to make them money, or what their conditioning is telling them to do. So this process of deconditioning, this process of learning who you are and living as yourself is so unbelievably empowering and powerful that it literally pulls all of your energy into the present moment and guides and directs your life to a more satisfying and successful expression of the self. So this is really a courageous step forward to understand that when you make a decision as yourself, you may trigger people. When you are in your own frequency, you may be stressed that you're not satisfying the needs of the people around you. And particularly emotional beings. We have a lot of you here. So the emotional being, what I feel is the most important for an emotional being is that we are constantly telling each other not to feel and controlling the way we feel. So if anyone is depressed or anyone feels bad, there's a whole story around that. You're depressed because you did this wrong and you should have followed this way and we told you not to do that. And the stories create deeper and deeper depression, deeper and deeper waves of emotion. And it creates a density and a fog around the truth, which is that the body and the emotions move in waves. The bodies and the emotions move in free flowing waves that move through the body. And when you're detached, yes, they ride up, yes, they ride down. But when you wait, you will slowly get clarity. If you don't wait and you ask a psychic, you ask a guru, you ask even your tarot cards for answers, you're not trusting your own inner authority. And that is what this system is all about, is empowering each person to live as their own unique, powerful inner authority. Why is this so important right now in history? Well, if you guys look around, there's a breakdown that's happening. There's a breakdown that's happening in the trust of our culture. A lot of emotional divisiveness and a lot of fear and just a lot of intensity. And we don't have anything to rest our hat on, really. We don't have a government that we really trust, or even hospitals that we really trust what's going on. We don't really have something we can rest our hat on and feel secure about. And that's very disconcerting. And so what we need to understand is that this is going to intensify. This is going to create more and more waves in our lives and more intensity, more and more confusion and fear. And so when we can center ourselves and empower our own unique way of operating on the planet, empower our own unique inner authority, our bodies move into a place of satisfaction, particularly if you're MG or a generator. And that level of satisfaction and that level of feeling good is been told in all different types of spiritual teachings as the path to awakening our greatest connection to what it is we want in life. So this is also found in quantum physics. It's also found in all of the teachings of Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton. All of these things are adding together to teach that we are in a new stage of human evolution. We're in a new stage of understanding ourselves, how our bodies work, how our minds work, right? And so the greatest thing about human design is we're teaching you how to put your mind on the back seat and to have a passenger consciousness. Now, that's also part of non-duality. That's also part of a lot of ancient teachings. And non-duality means that the ego minds are not the center of our consciousness, that there's another way to perceive as the witness. And when we perceive as the witness, are you guys following me, by the way? When we perceive as the witness, right, we're empowered. And the vehicle intelligence is what is guiding our ship. That vehicle intelligence, and I'm getting to a really important point here, the vehicle intelligence is the more, it's what births the babies, it's what beats our heart. And we cannot scientists cannot really understand how intelligent that vehicle consciousness really is. So in a way, when we put our minds in the back seat and we really allow for that vehicle conscious to lead the way, right, we can almost relax and we can settle in and let life sort of unfold for us, right? But it's not easy, and I'll tell you why. Now, this is proven more and more with science, is that our mind has different levels of consciousness, that we move through alpha, beta, theta, and gamma states throughout the day. Now, with the new EEGs and new ways of monitoring the mind, we understand these levels and how they operate. And when you monitor the brain waves, when you're doing things like intense meditations and healings, we begin to understand how this operates. And yet we cannot change the mind just by saying we want to. It's just not that easy. And so what happens is we wake up in the morning and we start this repeated habitual pattern that keeps us stuck in the current reality that we're existing in. We begin to operate addicted to our thoughts and our pains and our stories of the past. And so the stories wake up and they start replaying and they create your reality based on your past. And so when we're talking about human design and the passenger consciousness, we need to know and trust that this is a combination of a lot of teachings, and a lot of teachings that are now being proven by science, and a lot of people doing a lot of deep research in this area. And so when we learn that that we have the power to put the mind as not our decision-making process, and we give that power back to our vehicle consciousness, then we empower the level of transformation that we can have in our lives. We empower ourselves to live in an entirely new way, in an entirely new level, an entirely new consciousness, and birth all new parts of our existence. So if you look inside this room that you're in right now, and you just, see a candle or a crystal or your desk or your bed or whatever you're looking at right now, and you are alone with your consciousness, that is your choice point right there to either move into peace and move into vitality, move into health, move into calm, move into knowing that all is well, move into knowing that everything is flowing for you, that you are in a state of peaceful abundance. That is your reality. That is your reality. Instead, we're being bombarded by images of fear and falsity and intensity that drives our bodies and creates these waves that we get addicted to and lead us into directions of control. Okay. And so this process of the systems breaking down, which is happening in the rave chart for 2027, the systems are breaking down. Basically, we're moving into the era of the individual, which means that all of the tribal systems, the governments, the schools, the hospitals, they're all losing their vital force in the aura mechanics. When that happens, nobody knows how we're going to process it and how we're going to be with it. But what we do know is that when we're in our center, people will come to you for what you know, because your light is balanced, your light is bright, your light is holding as a beacon of information, because within your reality, within your consciousness, there's peace. So in that peace, there is direction because it comes from within. And that is power that transforms your home, your career, your businesses, and it transforms everything around you. And it seems like such simple information, and yet it's so complicated for people to live. So what I want to share with you guys today is the power of choice that we have in this moment. The power of choice to be this beacon of light and peace and abundance, and to hold that frequency for ourselves, for our homes, for our communities. or not, or not. You guys with me? You guys with me on that? Give me a thumbs up if you're listening to replay or you're live. Give me a thumbs up if you're with me on that. Because, or give me a little heart. Because this is what I'm here to do, is to empower this and seed each one of you with that seed of success, satisfaction, awe, and peace. That is the truth of our human design true self. That is what humans are designed to operate in. That is what humans are designed to operate through. We're designed to operate in this place of inner stillness, inner peace. I'm getting a one thumbs up and a sort of. Thank you, Linda. All right. A one. Oh, Sheila, thank you. Why A Course in Miracles works perfectly with human design. Hey, Max. So unbelievably true. I'm a huge fan of A Course in Miracles and why it works perfectly with human design. Exactly. And the same thing with any type of law of attraction work that you do. It works perfectly with human design because what human design does is it gives you the distinction of how to utilize this information, right? Utilize and integrate this information unique to you. So we were talking a lot about the emotional being because we have a ton of emotional beings on this call today. So the emotional being takes time. And if the emotional being makes a decision based on a high, they could be in a situation, and they've all experienced this, where nothing works out for them. They felt so good and high and like, oh yeah, I'm going to buy that house. I'm going to do it today. And like everything fell apart, right? And so every single emotional being knows exactly what I'm talking about. If you make a decision on a high or a low, it usually falls flat. Every emotional being has over time learned that when you wait the full 24 hours and you really give it time and you really let a decision sink in before you leap, things start to work out for you in a positive way. Hi, Mary Elizabeth. Oh, thanks for the thumbs up and the heart. I appreciate that. So good. So good. And so, and every emotional being can relate to that. That's why this intel is so powerful. Ask anybody in their design for the basics so that you can trust this intel. Because if you ask any projector if they've ever had an idea stolen from them, if they're ever burned out because they can't keep up, every single one is going to be like, I totally relate to that. That's just a trip. Like, I relate to that. So, and every emotional being is going to know that they've made some really poor choices based on a flippant decision. Now, if you're splenic, you're meant to make quick decisions. You're meant to make them fast. And if you're sacral, it's all based on your and you're conditioned out of that. You're conditioned out of the like, what do you mean to use your words, say yes, I really want this, or and you're conditioned out of your truth. And so this intel is an experiment to see if it's true for you. And most people who take on the experiment, most people have within their first couple months of taking on the experiment, right? They have the confirmations all the time that this shiz is real, right? Oh my God, yes, I made so many bad decisions out of depression. Exactly. It's so true. It's so true. And when you learn how to wait and when you learn how to operate correctly as yourself, things get easier, just easier. I'm sacral manifesting generator. So, right? That's the difference between someone being, I have a new MG video coming out soon. And I went really deep in this because the questions I kept getting is what's the difference between a manifesting generator and a generator? And the manifesting generator is different. It really is. They're fast. They're a little different. And the sacral is very quickly. And that's the difference between initiating, pushing, using your energy to do things that are not correct for you, burning out, and like living an incredibly creative, successful life. Right. And like just that little tweak is like all of a sudden things begin to pop. right? Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes it might take a year to get this stuff and experiment with it, right? But I'm telling you, that's the transformation we're looking at. It's weird. I'm solar plexus, but I actually get gut noises. Yes, Vicky. Yes. Thank you for saying that. And you will, because you are sacral, right? I mean, you are defined, right? Like, so anybody who is a sacral generator, anyone who's emotional, let's put it this way. If you're an emotional generator or MG, you're also going to have the sacral sounds, and it's going to guide you. What you have energy for is how we explain that, is that I have energy to go to lunch with this person. I have energy for this. I do not have energy for this business anymore. I do not have energy to go to work in that place anymore. I do not have energy for this. I have energy for that. But for big weighting decisions, then the emotions need to do the full 24 hours, right? So see if but you will have that sacral, yes and no, for sure. Thank you for saying that. I'm in the waiting mode, even though it's so hard. I want to run, but I'm trusting and waiting. And that is the hardest thing that I see, that every single person I ever watch who gets to know this human design intel, they're like, I'm not going to wait. That's just crazy. Like, wait. Like, I've been trained my whole life to initiate and make things happen. And waiting is so counterintuitive. And it really is impossible, like, so hard for people to do. It just is. And so I really honor you for being able to do it. And believe me, it took me probably 2 years of not only just learning this stuff, but like doing readings and everything to really wait for the invitation. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but that was my journey. I really didn't trust it for a very long time. It took me so long because we're so conditioned to go. Look around. We are driven by coffee. We're driven by caffeine and make it happen and go, 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 right? And it's like that conditioning is so hard to rewire the brain. It's just so hard to do. Daniel says, new MG video. Yay! I know, I'm almost done with it. It's going to be so great because everyone's been asking for that. Like, what's the difference between an MG and a generator? And like I said, MGs are unique. They are. For sure. Burnout can be so real. HD is teaching me a lot. Yeah. So real. Waiting is key. Yes, now I wait forever, like 2 weeks. So proud of you, girl. I'm so proud of you. So what I want to give you guys today is this seed of empowerment in the midst of the fear and the confusion. This seed of empowerment to know thyself and trust thyself, and also know that that when you're empowered, you will not make decisions based on what you see in the media and based on what you see around you. You will not make decisions based on that. You will not make decisions based on fear. You will not make decisions based on things that are not correct for you. You will not run out and scramble, because you will go inside and wait for what's correct for you. The slower you go, the faster your life goes. Classic. This makes sense because of conditioning. I wonder what is the correct waiting for an emotional generator and the not self waiting. So emotional generator and the not self waiting. That's an interesting, I've never heard not self waiting, but that's an interesting term. I do see people in not self waiting. And like I like that term, because basically what I'm seeing is people, they're waiting, but they're stuck. And then they're saying, I'm waiting. And they're stuck in fear, or they're stuck in spirals, or they're stuck in a spin cycle. I'm not sure if that's exactly what you meant, but that's what I see. And so you really have to know the difference between the two. Okay, so basically the true self, right, is... So the signature themes of, like, if you're just taking the aura type, the signature theme for a generator and a manifesting generator is success. And the not self theme is frustration. The signature theme for a projector is success, and the not self theme is bitterness. I'm not being seen. No one recognizes me. I can't get anything done. So the basic of the not self theme and the true self is almost that simple. Like that alone can change your life. I wake up and I want to feel satisfied. I wake up and if it's not satisfying to do that grind, I'm out, right? If I wake up and I'm frustrated, I'm in my not self theme. So, and that is very similar to a lot of the law of attraction teachings, believe it or not. Now the difference is that now with the human design, we really get the art of differentiation. We get to really differentiate how to operate as ourselves, right? If you're a projector, generator, MG, it's very different. Manifester, very different. So if you guys have specific questions about your chart, go ahead and type them in now, even if you're listening to the recording, because I will answer all questions. So if you have specific questions, go ahead and answer them now, or go ahead and put them in the chat. And I also want to say one thing, and I want to just let you guys know that we have 2 courses opening up right now, and they're going to be amazing. The energy is so unbelievably blowing my mind right now. The people that are coming in, the excitement, the depth. My level 3, and I wish I had somebody here in my level 3 group, which I don't think that I do, but if I do, let me know if somebody's here for my level 3. We're going through in such an unbelievably powerful experiential journey. The transformation is so deep and so unbelievably juicy. And we go through it as a group, through all of the nooks and crannies, the details, and really understanding this stuff. It is complete game changer. You understand your dynamic when you walk in the room with people. You understand how their aura mechanics are operating, how their defined and undefined centers are operating. Also, the whole individual tribal circuitry, collective circuitry is exposed. And so this is through my certification program. The certification is about to open. We've been sort of dealing and collecting with the waiting list and trying to see who's going to jump in and where everybody's at. And so if you're feeling the calling, let me know. It's going to be a super powerful journey. That's all I can say is I'm 100% guaranteeing the journey is transformative on every level in your life, in your career, and in your business or your job or wherever you're at. And so you guys can private message me if you want more information. I am doing phone calls with people today on that. The other thing is we're doing is a YouTube for woopreneurs. It's going to be so fun. If you feel like you want to start your YouTube channel, increase your YouTube channel, or really utilize it for business, this is our pilot program, and it is going to be off the charts. Exciting. We're going to be doing so much cool geeking out around like the power of speaking your truth, the power of really niching out the learning the algorithms, and creating a channel that is fully expressive, that allows you to be yourself and draw in the kind of money that you want. Now, obviously, everybody's business is a little bit different on YouTube. But what I've done is, because I'm a 1/5 and I'm a researcher and I have to go all the way into subjects that I love, I've totally cracked the algorithm and what you need in order to have viral videos. So regardless of where you're at, like even if you're a projector, this will kind of give you what you need to kind of be exposed, expose your genius. And if you're a generator, then your channel may explode really quickly. So it's going to be dependent on where you're at and kind of just learning how all these algorithms work and kind of putting those pieces together. I have a little system that I've created that allows you to be a big fish in a small pond, meaning learning like who's doing searching for what and how to find out why, if there's enough videos on that search. And so anyways, these are the 2 courses we have opening up, and they're going to be amazing. And I would love for you guys to join in. So if you're interested, you can private message me. And also right now, I'm happy to take any questions about your charts. If you guys have any questions, put them in the chats, or if you're listening to the recording, you can even put them in there. I am going to go through and make sure I get all of the questions answered. We love your feedback. We love your questions. We love to know what's going on, which is why we're making some great new content based on the questions that have come in. So, Law of Attraction says, feel good and you will get good things. HG says, as an emotional being, feel your emotional wave. It sounds like a contradiction. Stay in the low end of the... Oh my God, thank you for bringing this up, Daniel. Such a really important point. I felt this exact same thing when I was at the... I went to an Abraham Hicks workshop. And basically, that was exactly what I wanted to bring forward for all my emotional beings. That is the one thing that the law of attraction does not teach, is that when you're feeling low, okay, they say it's not good. And what we say in human design, we say that it is very, very, very important to feel the lows and to not judge them. So, in other words, it's not that the low is going to create a negative law of attraction. It's that the low is your natural part of your design. And I do think that's a game changer and a life changer for a lot of emotional beings. That is a really great question, and thank you for bringing that up. There is similarities, but there's also distinctions and differences, and that is one huge one, is when you're an emotional being, there is absolutely nothing wrong with the lows. As a matter of fact, in human design, they say that's a great time to like go inside, to create, to feel, to really go deep, especially if you're an individual and you've been experiencing the melancholy. The melancholy is all part of your design. That's why I love human design as such a great tool for all of this stuff, because there are those distinctions. So thank you for that great question. Max, thanks for the info. You're so welcome. Hey, Vince. Of course, we have to see and embrace the contrast. Right, exactly. And I just think that it's very different. So when you're an emotional being, or when you're defined or undefined, it really helps you understand how to process the emotions coming through. Because for me, for example, I'm undefined, but I spent years processing my emotions in spiritual psychology. I have my master's degree, and I do believe in therapy, and I do believe that especially if you have trauma, it really helps to feel through the trauma and to work through it. However, what was happening for me is that I was absorbing and amplifying all of the trauma of the people that I was working with. And when I found human design, I learned to be a screen and let that stuff move through. It was gone within like a 3-week period, or maybe longer, but it was a totally different insight and awareness about how those emotions work. And so that's why I love the distinctions of the defined and the undefined, and how all those things operate together in human design. That's why I love the distinctions. Now, I do think there's a lot of great tools out there for the spiritual being, for the enlightened being, for self-actualizing, and all of these things do provide amazing tools. But human design does something very different. It merges the esoteric with the exoteric. So you actually learn why you're unique in your operating tools, your aura mechanics, how to operate correctly as yourself. And everybody's different. So the art of differentiation. So even though there's a lot of tools in the law of attraction and spiritual tools, they don't have the differentiation. And there are a lot of things that make a big key difference. Like that's one of them. If you're emotional, you're going to have the highs and the lows as a natural part of who you are, and that's a good thing. And if you learn how the not self themes work, it can really support you in utilizing the law of attraction and all coaching tools and all types of tools when you know how to use it yourself. Because what you're seeing is a lot of people who teach you like to listen to your intuition, or listen to your gut, or listen to your heart, or follow this guidance or that. It's very, very confusing. And human design says, look, experiment with what we're telling you your GPS system is, and see if your life gets better. See if your life gets better. So that's what I want to leave you guys with today. Thank you guys so much for showing up live. If you guys have any other specific questions, don't hesitate to put them in. It does help us direct our next video and what we're going to do next. We really do answer questions and really do help kind of, guide how we're creating our intel based on what questions and stuff we get. So really good questions. I love connecting with you guys, and thank you for your comments. I hope that I've seeded a little empowerment for you guys today as you move through the world and see there's a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety. Just know that within you is your truth. When you allow yourself to empower your own authority, your life becomes more peaceful when you fall into line with your true self. Mwah. All right. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next live.